Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Blake, as you know. So I was just watching the Blizzcon opening ceremony, and I was gonna watch it and kind of cover it for Hearthstone, and then I was kind of thinking about it as I was watching it. I was thinking, since I started playing Hearthstone, I got really into the lore in World of Warcraft, and I've played it a little bit. I've branched out to Diablo from there, and Heroes of the Storm, and finally Overwatch when it came out. I play most of the games except for Starcraft, really, and we'll get to that. Um, so I was like, why not just talk about all of it? I'm not like an expert in all the games, but I do enjoy them all, especially all of them that I play. So the opening ceremony was amazing, and I usually buy the virtual ticket. Probably not gonna do that this year because I have to work through most of it, and I'm not really interested in watching like replays. And if I want to, I can do that later. But let's get started. There's a lot more to cover. I was actually wanting to do my free to play by the way series. um, but I kind of got, I don't know, there was a lot of stuff covered in that hour. Um, there was a lot more than I expected, so this is probably going to take most of the time for that I was going to use for that today. So I'll either get to it tonight, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably be playing the new Diablo season tonight. Anyway, so the first thing they announced was StarCraft 2 is going to be free to play. I do have a little bit of information about that. It's going to be for the campaign, the full Wings of Liberty campaign is going to be free. Commanders is going to be free to level 5, and then ranked play is going to be a full free unlock. So that's pretty cool. I've never really played StarCraft 2. I don't know. It wasn't anything that I really wanted to invest in, but honestly, now that it's going to be free to play and it's going to be on November 14th, now that that's going to happen, I'll probably play it. I'm going to check it out. And I think that's a pretty good strategic move, if I'm being honest, because what is it, the Pyeongchang games or whatever? I don't know what that whole deal is. I know that it can lead to some really big things, but if it's going to be StarCraft 2, that is going into bigger or deeper waters as far as mainstream exposure goes, you want people as interested in it as possible. That means free to play. It's just how it is. You look at Hearthstone's numbers and what it's done. It's because it's free to play, and I think if people start making a bigger deal out of StarCraft 2 for what it's doing, and it's something that anybody can jump into because it's free, then that's a good idea, especially for the game is going, which is crazy for how old it is. Really, I think it's amazing that that's kind of coming back like this, and that's why I'm gonna check it out. Whew, a lot of talking. Okay. So beyond that, there wasn't really much talked about with StarCraft 2. But then they went straight on into Heroes of the Storm, and I haven't played this game a whole lot, but I have played it to a certain extent, and it was a really cool cinematic. It was super fun. So what they announced for Heroes of the Storm is Alex Straza and Hanzo are coming to the Nexus, and that's awesome. Alex Strauss is one of my favorite characters in the Warcraft lore and in Hearthstone. She's amazing, and Hanzo is just a badass. So they also introduced performance-based matchmaking, and while I don't know exactly what this means for Heroes of the Storm, I do have some experience in MOBAs. I've played a whole lot of Smite, and it's an interesting choice because with any matchmaking system, you have to base it off metrics, and you got to pick what metrics are the most important. And it's really hard to judge performance from a game. Now, I could be wrong here because performance may have a different metric in Heroes of the Storm than in other MOBAs. But it's really hard to judge performance in my experience. You could play a really, really big role in a lot of team fights, but then just die a lot and not farm that much gold. Like there's all kinds of things that can happen to make your performance not seem so good. But it's interesting. I want to see how it plays out. Like if they can introduce it into the game and make it like a successful system that really does make good matches based on performance, then that's going to be awesome. I really want to see how that goes. But after that, I mean, they talked a little bit about the next year, and those are the two big things: is Alex and Hanzo, and then performance-based matchmaking. And I'm excited. I'll probably end up playing because of this again. It's not a game I play every day, but it's not like I've ever left it. I do like playing it. Moving on from that, you got Ben Brode. Ben Brode came in, and he was awesome as always. So they talked about the final set in the Year of the Mammoth in Hearthstone. And the new Hearthstone expansion is going to be Kobolds and Catacombs, which is really cool. A lot of people kind of thought it was going to be going towards High Mountain when they showed the big candle with all the Kobolds around it. I thought they were right. And maybe it will have some High Mountain theme stuff. But that's what the new set's going to be. It looks like they're going kind of like old school D&D type feel with it. And I don't know, it looks really fun. Most of the Blizzard expansions or the Hearthstone expansions rather, are really fun to play. So, with the new Hearthstone expansion, one of the new legendaries is Marin the Fox. He's an 8 mana 6/6 battlecry. Summon a 0/8 treasure chest for your opponent. Break it for awesome loot. Now, the card that they showed that you get from the treasure chest was a 3 mana spell where you draw a card and fill your hand up with it. I don't know how the card's going to be. It is an 8 mana 6/6. There's been 8 mana 7/7s in the game before that weren't good. It's happened. Maybe it's going to be bad. 8 health is tough. Most 8 health minions get like polymorphed or hexed or just ignored. 8 damage is a lot to just put into. The cards are going to have to be really good, but it's a fun card either way. I'm interested, Kitty. I'm interested to see where the card's going to go. But what's really cool about it is it's a legendary. Whoa. Kitty. My cat is destroying things. Get down, Kitty. It's going to be interesting to see what the card does. But what's really cool about it is everybody who logs in starting Monday, and that's going to be... What's the date for Monday? Monday the 6th. Everybody who logs in starting Monday, November 6th, gets Marin for free. And if you got the virtual ticket, the way Ben Brode said it was like you get the golden version and the regular version for free. And I don't know how correct that is, but I don't know. That would be cool. Man, interruptions. Just nothing but interruptions. Kitty interruptions. Messaging interruptions. Alright, no more of that. So yeah, I don't know if you get the golden version and the regular version for free. If you get the virtual ticket, but we'll see. We'll see. It's cool. It's cool for the new player experience. I'm glad they're doing things like this. Another card that they showed, which I'm not going to go too into the cards yet because they're going to be showing some more cards at the panel later. And once all the cards that are going to be revealed today are revealed, then I'll talk about the cards. But I am just going to kind of go over what they showed. So there's a new 7 mana Hunter spell, and it destroys your opponent's left and rightmost minions. It's called Crushing Walls, I believe is what they said. And that looks, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be good, but it's cool because of all the discover effects and like card generation that's in the game. It'll really make everybody, aside from Zoo decks, think about positioning. Because, I mean, Zoo always has to think about that anyway. But I like the fact that it's going to make positioning matter. The only question is to what extent, right? If it's only going to be played from discover effects or card generation or things like that, then maybe not so much. But if it actually does see play, positioning is going to matter a lot more. They showed a new warrior spell with a new keyword. The new keyword is recruit, and it pulls a minion from your deck onto the battlefield. So the 6 mana warrior spell is recruit a minion. So it's going to be, as it sounds, 6 mana, and then you play the spell, and it pulls a minion from your deck. So that, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work out okay or not. Big warrior, maybe? It's going to be interesting. So it's like big warrior, like the old control warrior. That was my favorite deck ever in Hearthstone. I played ranked way further than I ever have with any other deck, just because I just enjoyed it. I loved it. Back when it was before Justicar, like the old school control warrior with Baron Geddon and everything. I love that deck. But maybe Big Warrior, if it's like that, maybe it comes back. And then the final card that they showed is a Priest Legendary Weapon. This is the first Legendary Weapon, collectible anyway. The first Legendary Weapon, it's the first weapon for Priest. Priest has never had a weapon before. And it's a 3 mana, 0/3 weapon that when you cast 3 spells, you summon a 5/5 dragon. It's awesome. I think so. Priest plays a lot of spells. Like if you put this in like Rizaka's Priest, right? You probably play enough spells to get some value out of it. And the thing is where it's a 0/3 and Priest doesn't have weapons anyway, you could just play it whenever, and as long as it doesn't get removed by weapon removal, like there's no downside except for some 3 mana negative tempo. So maybe you don't play it on turn 3, but whenever you do have 3 mana, or you're floating 3 mana, you play it, and then it just generates from there. So I think it could be pretty good. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into card evaluation right now. I'm just like I said, going over the cards. And then the last thing for Hearthstone is, along with the new expansion, the single player mode for it is going to be something that they haven't done before. Previously, even in Knights of the Frozen Throne, you had to build your own decks, especially against the Lich King. That was rough. To get Arthas, that was insane. I guess it's a little bit easier now, but those first like few days after the expansion, it was tough. But with this one, it's going to be a completely new mode. They haven't done this before. It's called Dungeon Run. You start with a 10-card deck. Each win that you have gives you new cards for your deck. And if you lose, your deck starts over. It's going to be totally free, which is awesome. And it doesn't use your collection. It doesn't use the player's collection. There's 0 cards needed for this single player. So whatever the rewards are for this new single player mode with the new expansion is going to be totally free to play. You don't have to have a bunch of cards. You don't have to have any cards. And you can just play it. You can play it and get the rewards, and that's awesome. In my free-to-play run that I've been doing, it's called Free-to-Play, by the way, and you can check it out on my channel. In that run, one of the very first things I noticed is I really don't think the new player experience is as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. The problem that I've had is the first legendary I opened was a Golden Sindragosa. And I knew from when I started, from before I started, I knew that one of the worst things for new players is that you really need to craft the first maybe 3 or 4 legendaries you open. Or not craft, you need to dust them. And to be able to start a deck that can kind of take you to your collection. And I didn't notice or realize just how bad that felt until I opened the Golden Sindragosa. I wanted to keep it so bad, but I also knew that if I wanted to craft my deck, like I built Tempo, it's a zoo deck. I opened Blood Reaver Gul'dan. And I knew if I wanted to craft the deck that I was going to use to ride this thing out and build the collection for this series, I had to dust it. And I think any new player, they open a brand new golden legendary, especially something like Sindragosa that leads you to just more golden legendaries. Dusting that feels bad. It feels bad, man. Like it's awful. And I think that may be a design flaw in the current state of the game, right? It's counterintuitive, first of all, and it's really not fun. It feels really bad to do that. So things like this, where with free single player modes, where you don't have to have a collection, and I think things like more tavern brawls. And what I would like to see also is like something to boost the beginning of a new account. Like you don't have to give everybody free stuff, but something to boost that beginning part of a new account. Maybe just aim for it to be similar to the boost that you get from disenchanting a couple legendaries. And I think that would help a lot, but that's another story for a different day. The point is, this single player mode sounds awesome to me, and I think it's really really good for new players, and it's fun for everybody. So that's even better, man. I said no more interruptions, and then boom, Microsoft, come on. I work for Xbox, and Microsoft, they're hurting me. Okay. So after that, they went into Overwatch, and Overwatch had some really cool stuff. I have been playing a lot more Overwatch lately, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Aside from what they've done with all their esports and their ranked play and everything lately, um, they went into Blizzard World. Blizzard World is an amazing new map. It looked so fun. It had different themes, like theme sections, like at a Universal Studios or like a Disney World. It had these themed areas for all of the Blizzard IPs. It was a super cool ode to Blizzard, and it just looked really fun. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get on there and play it. It looks like a lot of little Easter egg type things in there. The Hearthstone Inn was in there. There's just all kinds of fun stuff. And that releases early next year, and they said it's going to be on the PTR soon, TM. And it's going to be part assault and part payload, which is interesting. I'd like to see how that plays out. They also showed the new hero, Moira. So let's show some Blizzard World here. Blizzard World. And let's show some Moira. So Moira looks really cool. So she's mainly a healer, which is cool. I mean, there needs to be more DPS, but they also said she can do a lot of damage. She looks kind of like a shadow priest. Like when you see her abilities, like she's like wielding the light in one hand and the void in the other. It's really cool. She looks like a lot of fun to play, especially if you like healers. She has the Fade ability, and I'm not really gonna go into her backstory because they didn't reveal a whole lot. They just kind of gave this theme where she can do damage. They really got that across, like in the trailer, the release video for her. They got it across that she can deal damage and she heals, but she's mainly a healer. And then they had some cool stuff with the voice actor for Reinhardt, and I don't know, it was a fun little reveal, but really it was just Blizzard World and Moira, and they talked a little bit about some esports stuff that's going on, but those are the two big things I was interested in anyway. And then the last thing was they kicked it over to the World of Warcraft stage, and we got the new World of Warcraft expansion called Battle for Azeroth. And if you check this out here, this is Sylvanas against Anduin. And let me tell you something. But wait, I'll get to that in a second. In the new expansion, like I said, it's Battle for Azeroth. Kiltaros is a new region. Zandalar is a new continent. You can go up to level 120. The new kind of, or the general kind of stuff with new expansions. And then they showed, in that release trailer, Jaina was talking, and she kind of sounded pissed off, right? Like she was angry Jaina. She sounded dangerous. She sounded rough. So I like hearing pissed off Jaina. I think it's awesome. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it. I think it's amazing. But after that, usually they wait a long time before they show the opening cinematic, but they showed it. They went on ahead and showed it, and it was great. It was epic. And before I get into the opening cinematic, I just want to say that their cinematics are looking so good. It's like it was amazing how good it looked. They could make, like, why did they make a full, like a live action Warcraft movie? Why didn't they just do it? I guess it's so much more money, but they used a lot of CGI in the movie anyway. But I mean, they could do it animated and it would be great. Anyway, the cinematic opens, and you've got Sylvanas under fire. You got the Alliance attacking, saying they're going to take Lordaeron. And King Anduin is there, and he's badass. He's got this full plate armor on with this big lion helmet. He looks awesome. And then you got Sylvana. She's kind of getting beat down. The Horde guys are kind of getting shit on there. and then Sylvana shows that she's kind of badass too. And she takes a bunch of people out. Rallies the Horde to fight back. So then the Alliance starts getting beat down. And then Anduin just throws his sword whoop, right into the ground and sticks his hand up in the air and calls down the light and just supercharges everybody. And then the cinematic ends with a big clash between the Alliance and the Horde. Now, I'm not a big Warcraft player. The lore, I love the lore. Hearthstone got me into it. It's one of these things that I'm just really into. I love learning about Warcraft and the lore and the backstories behind these characters. I'm not so much into playing it just because, like, I've played MMOs before and I get too into them. I put way too much money into it. I don't like monthly fees. Not really a huge fan of that. But it really does look awesome. And they kind of showed, like, you've got Kiltaros and you've got Zandalar, and it looks like, from what I saw, and I don't know much about the continents and the maps and everything, but I think this is what it is. If I'm wrong, correct me, please. But it looks like kind of the Horde takes one island or continent, and the Alliance takes the other, and it looks like there's going to be some PvP going on. Which is awesome. I always thought that there should be more kind of open PvP in Warcraft. And I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I think that would be cool. And then the other thing that they announced was the World of Warcraft Classic. They're going to hopefully be opening vanilla World of Warcraft servers. They said they're in development right now and that it will take some time. But they are working on vanilla servers, and I know a whole lot of people personally that would be very, very happy with that news. So if you've been pining for some vanilla World of Warcraft play and you don't want to play on illegal servers, rejoice because it's coming. Hopefully, because whenever somebody or any developer says it's gonna take some time or it's a while off, But yeah, if they announced it at BlizzCon, I would imagine it's coming. It's just a question of when. But that's going to be it for the opening ceremony, and I will check on what's going on through live threads and articles and everything with BlizzCon. And when it's over, I don't think I'm going to do daily videos because I'm not watching it. Like I said, I have to work through a lot of this, right? So I'm not getting the virtual ticket. I'm not going to be watching BlizzCon, but at the end of it, I will come back and make a video about the rest that went on, and I'll also do a video about the Hearthstone cards, including what I talked about just now, that have been announced throughout BlizzCon. But for now, that's going to be it. It was really fun to watch the opening ceremonies. I like the news that they brought out. Everything looks awesome. I'm excited for Hearthstone. I'm really excited for Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch 2. And then I'm excited about the lore for World of Warcraft. I love following it. Like I said, I don't play it, but I like knowing what's going on. It's a fun story. But yeah, that's it for now, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.